Hello, everyone, and welcome to season 3, episode 2 of The Bottom Line Is. Obviously, my son just doesn't want to be in queue today, so we just gonna roll with it. But nonetheless, I'm so excited. First of all, I'm excited because this is episode 2, and then I'm also excited because the pageant. I can't believe it's already come. Like, oh my gosh. Like, and we're going to get into all of that tea. But nonetheless, um, you know that my monthly episodes are the monthly topic, excuse me, is called Who Are You When No One Is Looking? And so, with that being said, and again, this is just look, we're going to adjust because Queen's pivot. And this is what I'm going to do. I'm a pivot.
Okay.
But my monthly topic, who are you when no one is looking? So the season 2, excuse me, the episode 2 of that is called The Woman Behind the Crown. So with that, again, this past Saturday, if you were not there, you missed out. I actually passed the Queen hat down to Miss Siobhan Bowman, and she is your 2026 Miss Maryland Corporate America. If I could include the hand clap, I would. Whoop, whoop. So I'm so excited to have a new sister queen and to, share in all of the vibes and the excitement. I know you all have heard me several times say I couldn't wait to, have someone continue to, carry on the path. I've laid the foundation, had people learn about who Miss Corporate America is, who Miss Maryland Corporate America is, what we do and how we do it. So I'm just so excited. I know she's going to take it up a complete notch, but again, I'm not going to tell you her story. I'm going to let her talk to you all and give her own tea. So with that being said, Miss Siobhan, would you let the people know who are you? What do you do? Give us the vibes.
Absolutely. First, I give God all the praise. Second, thank you for this amazing opportunity. Thank you for leading the way, laying the platform down. Like just my thanks go to you and the corporation and everyone and every woman to follow. So who is Siobhan? Siobhan is a mother of 8, a grandmother of 2, a wife, a woman after God's heart. And what do I do for fun? Listen, I am a kickball coach. I love to travel. But something that, if you go to my page, which is ShamonBowman.com, you will probably find a lot of things about me on there. One of the things that I have a heart for is the world of adoption and foster care. My husband and I, we have adopted a total of, we're not adopted, foster a total of 26 children. And of the
Wow.
26 children that we have adopted, 4 of them became, of the 26 children we have fostered, 4 of them have become our adopted children. So I'm real big on family, family first for me for everything. I'm real big on wanting my family to be different, meaning that I want to leave a legacy. So I stood on financial literacy because that really means a lot to me because of where I come from. And I also stand on wellness as well. However, where I do come from, I wasn't given a silver spoon, right? So at the end of the day, nothing has been passed down. My grandmother didn't pass anything to my mom. My mom is not able to pass something to me, but I wanted to change that. So how do I change that? I started putting my foot to the ground and not worrying about what I didn't have, but worrying about what focusing on what I'm going to go after. So that's just a little bit about me. Like what I enjoy
Wow.
besides that, dancing with 2 left feet.
I
And singing like I can't with my vocal cords broke, but it doesn't matter what your ears say because at the end of the day, I know that I can sing and I don't know lyrics. So that's me.
I I just want you all to know that I watch it. All of this I am learning in real time. So these are true reactions. No, I love it. And I know you had a big crowd behind you at the pageant. And that was just so amazing to see. Yeah, like all of that support. And so, like the fact that you foster children, taking people into your home and treated them like your own, and just all of the amazing things that you're doing and going to do, I think is just amazing. I'm like, we should have met a long time ago, girl.
Absolutely.
Yeah, like I love to see it. So but yeah, so thank you for telling us who you were, before the crown. And now that you have the crown, I mean, describe what did that feeling feel like when you were standing up there, you didn't know who they were going to call, the bottom, well, not bottom, but top two. You standing up there, like, what did you feel?
So to be honest with you, the very moment I from very the very beginning, and can I be transparent?
Yes.
Yeah. So when they had said they did the Glimmer Awards, like my heart lit up when I won the interview. So why my heart went up, because you have percentages, right? So with the
Mhm.
percentage that I had, I was like, I feel so good. Like at the end of the day, I felt like I didn't want to leave anything behind. I wanted to make sure that when I left out of that room, that it was all said and done. Like I gave it all that I could, right? So when they announced it, I was like, my family. It was like, I was standing there like a deer in headlights. I was like this the entire time. Like I couldn't stop cheesing. So honestly, when I had India's hand, I was
Uh-huh.
just in a moment of gratitude, in a moment of joy, in a moment of thanksgiving. Like I was just so thankful. It At the end of the day, I was just like, God got me, right? He knows the desires
Yeah.
of my heart. And so when they called me, I think it was you or was somebody who had said, don't forget you gotta take pictures afterwards.
Yeah,
So
that was me. Yes.
okay, so here I go. I was like, I'm crying.
Oh,
I just held
yes.
my hands up. I was like, okay, thank you, Lord. Like, just hold it back. Because I swear the tears were right here in my eyes.
Yep.
My heart was so full. And I was just so thankful. I was so thankful because God know what I have been asking him for. And up to the competition, I don't remember asking God, let me win. I mean, I may have, right? But I did say to God, I remember very clearly that I wanted to give her discernment. I wanted clarity. I wanted to be focused. I wanted to remove distractions. I wanted to make sure I walk with confidence. Like I asked God to give me all these intangibles. And that to me stood out more than anything. And I said, God, if you know I'm going to give this all I got, then whatever is your will be your way at the end of the day. And I prayed for every single woman up there. Like I asked God to bless every single woman before I left out that day. My mom and I at 3 o'clock in the morning, because the anxiety was high. Okay, like I couldn't sleep high.
Oh, yeah.
like look, go to sleep.
Well, you look good.
Close your eyes, shut your brain down, stop thinking about it so much. So I'm a person that I want to show for me first, right? So I
Mhm.
feel like if I do a great job for me, then I feel good about my decision, right? So, and at the end of the day, my family is tough. But my mom and I, we prayed that morning for everyone. We pray for everyone just to come out and give it their best. So for me, that settled me. So when you ask me how was I feeling, it was just gratitude, like just complete gratitude.
No, that's awesome. And first of all, you all had a great, like the ladies were great. I
Yeah.
mean, I that was just a great bunch of ladies. That were in the pageant. And I know that, of course, my last episode, I got to interview some of them. And sorry that I missed your message as well.
Okay.
And I thought that was just so, so funny that, like, during the rehearsal, and you said, oh, you might not have seen my message. And I didn't. And I'm good at text messages. And I was like, oh my gosh. So when you gave me a number and then you went, I was like, well, look at that. Look at that. And now I
Look
already
at
got her
God,
number.
right?
So
And you nicely gave me your phone. So that all worked out well.
oh my gosh. But yes, I remember before, while we were in rehearsal and saying that, like, whoever is up there, just remember, yes, the camera is on you. You're going to want to cry. And you gotta hold it together. Hold
I
it
tried.
together. And I think I had joked, I said I wanted to do a happy dance when I was up there. I saved it for later. But yeah,
Right.
I know you could not stop cheesing, and your family was so ecstatic. I remember just being on the side and watching. I was like, yes, I was just like, it took me back to,
Yes.
this year. I had a big group of family and friends, and they were out there. Like, and my friends and family that were in the audience last weekend, they were like, yeah, they was yelling every time she came out there. They loved her. They loved her.
Listen, shout out to all of them. When I tell you, like one of the questions that one of the judges had asked me was,
Mhm.
you pour out into so many people, so who pours into you? And my response was, first is God, first with everything. So, but second, it's my village, it's my family. When I tell you, my village and my family is absolutely amazing, and I just love the fact that we are all here to help each other. Like I always tell everybody, it's so much room at the top. We can all get it together at the end of the day. And every time I kept on hearing them like scream my name, I was like, oh my gosh. So it just
I
go.
know it's so hard
I
not to
know.
like start cheesing and stuff, or when you're about to talk. I remember when the pageant opened up for us, you had to go up there and say, hi, I am Sierra. I am Miss Catonsville at the time. And I was like, oh, I had to pause because my family started screaming and stuff. And I was like,
Right.
hi. Like, I was like, okay, hold up. I got to get it together. It's so
Right.
good just knowing, like you said, that your nerves are already like through the roof, but
Mhm.
it does bring a sense of calmness when you know that you got supporters out there, whether they're there personally and you got God on your side. It's just
Yes.
that sense of like calmness, despite the chaos. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's still that moment of it's gonna be okay.
It is. And that's how
Okay.
I felt. It was just okay. Like I was just so thankful. I was so happy. Like I was
Yeah.
so happy.
No, I look. I'm here with you. I was happy for you. I was like, okay. I felt like a proud mom, and I'm like, I'm not okay.
Oh
Oh my
goodness.
gosh. Well, you all, that was the behind the scenes tea from the pageant. Okay. So you already told us who you are when nobody is watching. So what other, and then you did kind of answer this next question, but what other habits and routines help to shape the woman that you are today?
Mhm. So a lot of things. One, I'm real big on watching people, and seeing what people flaws are and seeing what people ways of how they succeed. And I like to build on that. If I see a flaw, then I want to make it better. If I see you succeeding, then I want to make it better, right? So other things that helped me become the person who I am today was my grandmother, watching her. My grandmothers, they didn't have any form of education. Everything they did was on self-taught, but they figured out a way. They figured out a way how to keep a roof over our head, also food on our table with the many people they took care of. So it first started with them. Then I had my community. I'm surrounded around some amazing people, amazing people. And I just give God all the glory for that, because you can have sometimes some people in your life that drain you, but I promise you, I have so many people in my life that's elevated me, from my wellness community to my financial community to my sisters, that's not blood related. Just always pouring into me, and they don't have a problem. They don't have a problem with telling Siobhan, no, that is not it. And I receive it, right? At the end of the day,
Right.
like, I like constructive criticism. I don't think
Yeah.
I'm not one individual that thinks she knows everything, because I don't. I'm one individual that want to learn everything. So you teach me, you show me, I'm watching you grow, then I want to grow. So it's multiple things that has helped me become the woman who I am today.
Oh, that's awesome. Yes. You sound like me. Yeah, I'm a person, I always want constructive criticism because to me, that's the only way I'm going to get better. I can't see what
Mhm.
I'm doing. So if somebody's
Mhm.
looking from the outside in, yeah, give me that feedback.
Absolutely.
So even with my podcast, I always ask, well, how can I get better? I mean, that's
Yeah.
the only way I feel like I can grow. So,
Absolutely. That's how we all grow. But you
mhm.
gotta be willing. You have to have an open mind. You have to
Yeah.
be ready to walk into that season. And so many people are not ready. And honestly, my children, you know how as a parent, you telling your children as they growing up, you need to do this, you need to do that. I'm always used to be like, you need to be proactive. So I can recall my son one day. My son, he is 27 years old. So my son one day, he was asking me something. He was like, Mom, you need to keep an open mind. And I was like, excuse me. I'm thinking I am keeping an open mind. But it's like, even with your children, if you're open to growing,
Mhm.
like even with them feeding back into you, you will grow, right? Because
Mhm.
again, they're growing in a different generation than you grew in. They're learning things faster than you have learned. So just always have an open mind. And that's how we continue to grow and evolve.
No, I love that. And so I want to skip down to this question. So, because you just kind of led into it, have you ever doubted yourself throughout the whole process of Miss Corporate America?
That is a really great question. Doubt it? No. But hard on myself, absolutely.
Mm,
Absolutely. And I have to tell you something funny, right? So I have a 20-year-old daughter. So as I'm reviewing my pitch, okay, so I'm gonna tell you what gives me energy. So as I'm reviewing my pitch, so I already knew the pitch, but now so I knew the pitch by sitting down memorizing it, right?
mhm,
So now I'm working on delivering it and watching. Like I like to work in distractions because I feel like that's how the crowd will present themselves to you. You got to get past the noise. So I will speak with music on. I would do it with any kind of way. So I went to my 20-year-old daughter and I gave her my pitch and I messed up 3 times.
mhm.
This little girl gonna say to me, and I say little girl because she was about to be, Mom, I was like, I ain't Miss Marilyn yet, goddamn. I was like, and this is how she did me. She was like, you're not ready. Go back and study. And I was like, did you just wave me off?
She dismissed you.
What
Mm,
you won't do is wave me off. So literally, that's motivation to me. Because anytime
right.
somebody tell me that I can't do something, oh, I'm about to show you that I can. So for me, when she said that to me, I went back in her room. I was like, and she was talking about, oh, so that's all I need to do. Yes, that's all you need to do.
That is hilarious. And that example, I remember going into the dressing room and you were practicing your speech. This was like after we, did the few hours of rehearsal, and you was like, "Yeah, I got." Somebody said, "Am I interrupting?" You was like, "Nope, I need to do it with distractions." And
Uh-huh.
I remember saying to myself, "Good job, good
Yeah,
job."
that's the only way you gonna be able to conquer that. You gotta
Yep.
look, get past the noise because it's gonna be there.
No, that is excellent. Um, so did you have to let go of anything to step into this Miss Maryland, like to this new version of yourself?
Let go of anything? No, I did not. Because Siobhan Bowman is a person that gets out and serve the community. Um, a lot of people are like, I don't know where you get the energy from. I don't know how you get to do this. And I'll be like, it's God. So for
Yeah,
me,
no, literally, it
yeah,
really is.
it really is. Like honestly, sometimes I'll be shocking myself, like, where do I get the energy from?
Yep,
But
I did.
I feel like it's God. Like everything that he's not gonna give me more than what I can handle, right? So I didn't have to let go of anything. Honestly, things increased with me taking on this role. And I'm comfortable with it. Like I enjoy it. Like if it was one thing that I wanted from this particular platform, it wasn't the crown, it wasn't any of that. It was the fact that I get to connect with more people, i.e.,
Mhm.
you and the other people. Like I get to connect, I get to see more people, I get to speak to more people. So I get to help people. I deal with wellness and I deal with financial literacy. So my goal is to help communities transform. I want to see people get better with their health and I want to see people do better with their finances because both of those impact me deeply for my family.
Okay. No, I love that. And so, how, well, you kind of answered this, but how do you balance being authentic while representing this title? Because,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes people can get, when you have a title such as this, people get blinders on and think that
Mm-hmm.
they above or what have you. But, you know, how, how would you answer that?
I feel like a title is just a title, right? Not
Mm,
to say that you don't work and you don't earn, you don't, deserve the accolades and go towards it, but I don't feel like a title should change a person at the end of the day. If it's anything, you should want to become a better person and evolve because now people are looking at you in a different light, in a different aspect. So for me, like when I think about pastors and I think about judges and I think about all these different people that got this title, like you're still a human being. You're first a human being and then there's the title, right? So with the title, with you or without you, how do you show up as a person? And who I'm always searching after, for their heart is God. So with the title or without it, I'm always Siobhan. I'm reporting to him. So the title is going to make if it's anything that I do, I'm gonna tell you something funny too after this. But if there's anything that I do, I want to make sure I show up for him. But I hate calling Dr. Tucker. I call Dr. Tucker because I said, Dr. Tucker, I said, with me then, Miss Maryland. I was like, do you expect me to stop dancing? 'Cause
oh, no.
I say, now I don't get out there and get the twerking talking or anything of that
Right.
nature. Well, I do like to have a good time. And
Right.
she was like, girl, no. And she was like, we would have saw that long before. I was like, okay, I just want to make sure. I mean, I don't want no cameras be on me like, oh, they're gonna be Merlin out there shaking the two two step.
Try to avoid posting it is what I would say.
Okay, okay, okay. I don't post
Because
it
people
anyway.
gonna be all on the social medias,
Yeah,
now. So
right, right. But no, it ain't no dancing like that. I just like, I
yeah,
am.
no, I share that. That's how I am. But no,
Okay, okay. Noted.
for this year, I did not. No,
Okay,
like I told my friends, don't.
okay. No talk. I appreciate it.
Got you. Like, so last week's episode, with the other queens, I talked about, some misconceptions and is pageantry performance or strategy. So I want to ask you, what's a misconception about pageantry that you personally experienced?
I think a lot of people thought this was about a beauty
Mhm.
competition. And a lot of people thought that, I had to have a talent and swimsuit and all of
Mhm.
that. And I was explaining to them that, in my opinion, this is about leadership, it's about sisterhood, it's about community service, empowering one another, and helping other people evolve, right? So I wanted to help people understand the vision behind it and why they should step into it and see it in a different light. So that would be
Okay.
mine.
Yeah, no, and that's a lot of what the ladies said too last week. We were talking about that because that's what people initially just go to thinking. They don't think about, yeah, we actually are competing with our brains,
Yeah, definitely.
not just beauty, our
Yeah,
brains. That's what
absolutely.
it's about.
Absolutely.
So yeah,
And
because
the service and the community service
yeah,
that you do for people as well. So that stood out to me more than anything. All of
right.
the service is helping other people. So,
Yeah, and for me, what stood out was the entrepreneurship because
mhm,
I know for me, just as a HR professional, trying to have that seat at the table and be respected at the table is
mhm,
always hard
mhm.
to do and get recognized. So it was great to be amongst like-minded women.
I know. I love
So
that part.
yeah, that's what I loved
Yeah.
as well.
And then all
So
the other women that come after the women that are, serving as,
mhm.
running for the competition. But there's so many other women. It's so many other women. And that is exciting to me. That is so
Yeah, wait
exciting.
till you get to nationals. You're going to see so many more because I guess it was 11 of you, I believe. So it's going to be probably, I don't know what the final number is, obviously, because, there's more state competitions coming, but there's going to be a good amount of you all there. So, and they also are going to be so phenomenal and have so many talents and skills. And it's going to be that it's full of a whole weekend, nationals, and there's so much networking and empowerment and just so many lessons and takeaways, really, like
Mhm.
everything that you all did. I think you all met every other week. Just imagine all of those type of lessons maximized and crammed into a weekend.
Yeah.
That's essentially what nationals is going to be, but it's
Wow.
a good time. Oh,
I
yeah.
love it.
So what would you say to the woman who is still becoming her but doesn't feel ready yet?
I would say step out, have faith in yourself. Know that if you fail, you fail forward. You're going to continue to get back up. And you're going to continue to try. But if you never try, you will never know. So I would say step out on yourself, believe in yourself, trust yourself, and know that God got you. Because if you have it in your heart and you ask God, to direct your steps, whether you win or you lose, you're going to gain something from it. So
Mhm.
step out. Trust you.
And I think one of the ladies said that on Saturday. They were like, I'm already a winner. I might not have the
Mhm,
title under my name, but I'm
mhm,
already a winner because
right,
I won being in the presence of all of, everyone around me. So,
absolutely. So a lot of people, in my opinion, we are the individuals who block our blessing, right?
yes.
We block our own blessing with what we put in our mind. If you trust yourself, if you believe in yourself, if it's something that you say to yourself that you can do, you want to try to do, then when I say step out, I mean that's a challenge for you. Like you have to come to a point in your life where you have to feel okay with being uncomfortable, because that's another level of success that you will reach when you become uncomfortable. As long as you stay complacent and you're in your comfort, like you don't grow in that area. You grow when you become uncomfortable. When you, if you happen to fail, If you fail forward, you're gonna learn a lesson and you're gonna get back up and you're gonna do it better.
No, I love that. And if you didn't hear that, don't worry, it'll be on the replay.
Okay.
So I did want to, talk a little bit about your financial wellness, a little bit. If you could give any woman or whomever watching three top tips for financial wellness or, whatever, however you want to frame it, what would you say?
The first thing I would say is learn your financial independent number. That is your FIN number. That is the amount of money that you need when you retire to be able to live off of. The second thing I would tell a person is understand the power behind legacy, right? Leaving something behind. Granted that, because I often hear sometimes, well, I'm not going to leave anything behind. Like, don't think small because the Lord say we will leave something behind for our children, right? So leave something behind so they can have a head start. And the last thing I would say is understand what you have, like everything. Understand what you have as far as insurance is concerned. Understand what you have as far as your retirement is concerned. Understand how money grows, how money compounds. Like get in the room where you can understand your money. So many people, have these accounts and they don't know how much is in it, or they have these particular accounts and they don't know when the market is going up and down. They don't know if they have a fixed or a variable account and what that can do for their livelihood. Like, I just want people to get educated. Like, even if you don't make any decisions about how you want to move forward, I feel like if I give you the information, at least now you know. And it's up to you to do something with the information.
No, that's great. And that ties into what you said earlier about like your grandparents and, the legacy, although it wasn't, a tangible legacy, it was still an untangible and like, laying that foundation
Mhm.
of life. And I would say from a caregiver standpoint too, just and thinking about all those things that you just said for yourself, but think about it for your loved ones because, your parents or your grandparents might not have thought about that. And might as well fix it while you can now,
Yeah.
while you're able to, instead of when you do have to take care of that person, it doesn't one take you down financially, or you can make that money work for them, whether it's through life insurance or like
Mhm.
401k, pension, retirement, all of that stuff that you said as well. So start planning now
Yeah.
because now is the
It,
time.
it is so important. And another thing, if I could just send out another message,
Okay.
specifically in the minority community, we are so reactive.
Hmm.
If we can learn how to be proactive with our finances, with our wellness, we will be one step ahead in so many areas of our life. And the one thing that I always, and I don't have anything against GoFundMe, but I have something against GoFundMe when we use it for funerals, right? Because
Mm,
people don't realize that $20 sandwich or those $200 shoes or that $300 hairdo or whatever the case may be. Insurance can run you $10 to $20 a month. It is so much better because no one is guaranteed a daytime or hour when we're going to pass. But it's so much better for you to not have to go through grief, being financially grieving, and also grieving the loss of someone else. So
yeah.
when you are proactive, protect your family, protect yourself. That's my plea.
Yeah, no, that you hit the nail on the head. I know, I think it was my first season, we did an episode on financial wellness and we were talking about those same things. It's bad enough that when, a member of your family passes to, grieve them, their physical presence not being here, but then having to deal with whatever's left behind
That part.
that could
That's
potentially have
heavy.
been handled, right? Because one, like you said, we don't know when we're going to be leaving. So, and I had went to an event the other day and, same thing we were talking about in households. All she said that she heard when she was younger was make sure keep your credit good. That's all people say. Just make sure
Mhm,
you have good credit. But then nobody talks about and educates our future leaders of how to have good credit, how to
mhm,
maintain good credit.
mhm,
Like,
mhm,
or if it does go, mess up, how can I get it back on track? You know what I
mhm.
mean? Like nobody
Absolutely.
talks about those things. So I think it's very important. And I think that it's important to start when they're teenagers, really start having those lessons. And my friend that did that episode with me, she was saying with her teenager, she would have him do chores, and then he would earn like different points, and she would give him lessons on like the credit, and he would understand like how to manage his money when he did start working and things
Mhm.
like that. It's so, it might seem taxing sometimes to, do all that and create those different types of scenarios, but it's going to work out in the end. And yeah, so I definitely empathize with what you're saying too. So
Absolutely. I would add to that, to parents, if the moment your child asks you, can I have, that's the moment you start teaching them about money, right? You give them a certain amount of money and you let them pick and choose. You want to save this for later or you want to purchase this with your money. And this is how much you're going to have left. It doesn't matter how young they are. The moment they ask you for something, teach your financial responsibility. Because what I am an advocate for and what I am planning, my plan to do is to get in front of these school systems that's already been doing it, but I want to be in more and more of them, right? And to help youth understand the importance of money, because I think that financial literacy need to be in all schools, starting from a very young age. They can play with money, they can understand money, they can understand budgeting. It's certain levels that you can do every single step of the way, from elementary to middle school to high school to college. I don't
yeah,
will become an
because
adult.
nowadays, the kids, and I mean, I think I was guilty of this. It's like you're learning stuff in school and you're like, well, when am I going to use this? But they
Mhm.
don't tell you, like, well, yeah, you need to know these math skills because that's what's going to actually help
Exactly.
you when you get older. So you need to
Exactly.
understand the fundamentals. So you, what you need to do.
You're
so
absolutely right.
so I do have a couple more questions, but I did want to pause and allow you to, plug yourself. Tell us, like, you already shared the tips and we had that part of the conversation, but tell our listeners, like, how can they reach you if they want to find out more about financial wellness and financial literacy, or all of the different things that you're going to be offering, as well as follow your journey as Miss Maryland Corporate America.
Yay, I appreciate that. So first, you can go follow me on all platforms. I am Siobhan Bowman, and that is SHA, my name right there, VONNE BOWMAN. You can follow me on, like I said, all platforms, but you also can follow me on my business page, which is the number 4, the people, the number 2, the initial B, and the word fit. So Siobhan Bowman, if you're following Miss Corporate America, you will see that on Siobhan Bowman. You'll also see it on For the People to Be Fit as well. But just to give you an insight of what For the People to Be Fit is to be fit mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, and financially. So you can go to the links and you can follow me there, but you can also call my business line, which is 240-563-9272. And if you really want to take a deep dive, I encourage you to go to my website. It is www.ShavonBowman.com. And you can also Google me as well. So however you want to
I love
find me,
that.
find me.
Google me.
Google
Yes.
me.
No, I love that. And when we do the replay, we'll be sure to put all of Siobhan's information in the caption. So, and then of course she'll be tagged on her pages so you can, follow along from there. But I've enjoyed our conversation. And so one of the two questions that I wanted to end with was, what does being seen mean to you now as Miss Maryland Corporate America?
What does being seen mean to me now? Is that someone is always watching, someone is always looking up at you. So I feel like, and I always take it back to God, right?
Mhm.
Like at the end of the day, what type of light am I shining through me so other people can see? So being seen now is, of course, is Miss Corporate America, but now I am more cognizant of a lot of things like my movement, my actions, my responses. And I'll tell you this is the transparent moment, very transparent, no judgment. So I'm very protective of people. I'm very, very protective of people. If somebody do somebody wrong, somebody say something to somebody wrong, oh, I'm quick. I'm quick with it.
Mhm.
So, so my transparent moment in my growth as Miss Corporate America is because I have done better with listening more and responding less. But where my growth is going to happen is when I'm able to respond for somebody to receive, right? Because it's a difference when you just talking to somebody and you just talking. But it's a difference when somebody come at you, you take a B, you can either A, respond, or do not respond, or how you respond, make sure they receive it and it's powerful. It don't have to be an argument, a disagreement. You could be kind with it. And that's my area of growth. as I am seen as Miss Maryland Corporate America.
No, I love that. And I was thinking when you were talking, I was like, yeah, as queen, it's now you have to take a pause and be more slower to react.
Hmm.
But I loved how you defined that. So, and that is very true because I say to people all the time, I'm like, I don't think you heard what I said. You were listening to respond instead of listening to receive or understand and comprehend exactly what I'm saying. We as a people need to work on that.
Yes,
So
yes. Listen, Siobhan know her flaws. I'm just trying to address them early.
right. So I want you to finish this sentence for me. The woman behind the crown is.
The woman behind the crown is a builder, a woman who is looking to build legacy, a future, a future for people to become more healthier, more aware, a future of people working together, communicating with one another, and helping each other grow. So she's a builder. So that's all she's doing is getting out here building communities, one person at a time, one family at a time.
I love that. And so, with that, I'll end with the bottom line is I've passed the crown down, and I think that it's in amazing hands. With Miss Siobhan here as our Miss Maryland Corporate America 2026. I'm always going to be here no matter, what on your journey. You can always vent. You can always run things past me. I am your sister girl for life.
Thank
And
you.
that's what we're going to do. And I appreciate everybody that has been watching. Make sure that you like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I also want to shout out our sponsor, Rhonda's Rockin' Bodies. You can follow her on Facebook as well as in Instagram, excuse me, at Rhonda's Rockin' Bodies. And she does personal training and also has training classes in Baltimore, Maryland. And with that, thank you all for joining me and follow us next week for another episode of The Bottom Line Is.